Today we're diving into a political earthquake that's rocking the nation in May 2025, Operation Sindoor, our military strike on terrorist camps in Pak-occupied Kashmir, a fierce retaliation for the horrific Pahalgam terror attack in Kashmir. This wasn't just a military operation, it's flipped our political landscape upside down, igniting a firestorm of nationalism, shaking up alliances, and sparking heated debates within the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, and beyond. We're unpacking every single detail, from our allies' reactions to the Sangha Parivar's concerns, shifts in the Hindi heartland, internal BJP tensions, and what it all means for the high-stakes Bihar elections. No stone left unturned, so let's jump right in. Operation Sindoor, a May 2025 military strike launched by US against terrorist camps in Pakistan in retaliation for the deadly Pahalgam terror attack, has had significant political reverberations in India. The operation's success unleashed a surge of nationalist sentiment across the country, which the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party under Prime Minister Narendra Modi has eagerly tapped into. This analysis examines the fallout of Operation Sindoor on domestic politics, with a focus on the BJP's fortunes and Modi's leadership style. It covers the reactions of key regional allies, the Sangh Parivar's views on Modi's approach, shifts in the BJP's dominance in the Hindi heartland, especially Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, and signs of internal dissent within the BJP post-Sindoor. The upcoming Bihar Assembly elections serve as a critical lens through which potential political shakeups can be assessed in light of these developments. Let's start with our regional allies and their conditional support. Regional allies that extend issue-based or conditional support to the BJP have responded to Operation Sindoor with cautious approval. The Biju Janata Dal (BJD), which is not formally part of the NDA but often backed the Modi government on key issues during 2014-2024, has recently shifted to a more oppositional stance after electoral setbacks. Having lost all 21 Lok Sabha seats in Odisha in the 2024 general election, ending BJD's decades-long dominance in the state, Naveen Patnaik's BJD announced it would stop giving issue-based support to the BJP government and focus on acting as a strong opposition. Nevertheless, Patnaik joined the national consensus in praising Operation Sindoor. From Delhi, the BJD president and now leader of opposition in Odisha lauded the armed forces' successful strikes, declaring, "I congratulate them with all my heart. Jai Hind." This reflects BJD's nuanced stance, staunchly backing India's security actions while distancing itself from the BJP's political agenda. Patnaik's public salute to the military underscores that on matters of national security, the BJD stands firmly united with the country, even as his party recalibrates its relationship with the Modi-led regime. In Andhra Pradesh, the Telugu Desam Party, TDP, has offered even more emphatic support. The TDP, led by Chandrababu Naidu, had been estranged from the BJP since 2018, but by 2024 showed signs of rapprochement. After Operation Sindoor, TDP leaders demonstrated unwavering support for the strike as a patriotic duty. Senior TDP figures convened at NTR Bhavan, waving the tricolour and chanting Vande Mataram in solidarity with PM Modi. TDP ministers openly asserted that every Indian stands in favor of Operation Sindoor and pledged that Andhra Pradesh will fully support any decisions made by Prime Minister Modi in the fight against terrorism. Naidu himself hailed Modi's leadership during the crisis, stating that under the Prime Minister, the world witnessed India's strength and unity against terror. This robust endorsement signals that the TDP's conditional support has solidified, at least on national security issues. Both BJD and TDP, despite not being core NDA members, found it politically prudent to align with the nationalistic wave post-Sindoor. However, their support comes on their own terms. The BJD frames it as patriotism above politics, and the TDP leverages it to reaffirm its alignment with the BJP-led center after a period of estrangement. Their reaction suggests that regional allies feel pressure to stand with the government on security matters, even as they maintain the option to diverge on other policy or electoral issues. Now, let's talk about the Sangh Parivar's concerns about Modi's one-man show. Within the Sangh Parivar, the family of organizations led by the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, RSS, that ideologically anchors the BJP, Operation Sindoor has intensified an existing unease about Modi's leadership style and personality-centric image building. The RSS has traditionally frowned upon cults of personality, preferring collective leadership and ideological work over superstar politicians. In the wake of 10 years of Modi's rule, the RSS's misgivings have started to surface more openly. Notably, in late 2024, RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat delivered a subtle but sharp rebuke of Modi's self-aggrandizing tendencies. After the Prime Minister claimed to have gained extraordinary powers following his mother's demise, Bhagwat cautioned that no individual should equate themselves with the divine. He stressed that such remarks were improper, implicitly chiding Modi's growing personality cult. This rare public criticism from the RSS, the ideological bedrock of the ruling party, was a telling sign of discomfort. Observers noted that Bhagwat's comment, urging people to make their own judgments rather than accept any leader's quasi-divine claims, was seen as a direct critique of Modi's apparent self-aggrandizement and the aura of infallibility around him. This was not an isolated incident. The RSS had earlier voiced discontent over the government's handling of certain crises, such as the ethnic violence in Manipur, and what it perceived as neglect of inclusive outreach. The Operation Sindoor aftermath added another dimension to Sangh concerns. While the RSS supported the strong action against terrorism, it grew wary of the BJP politicizing the military success to bolster Modi's image. RSS insiders have long urged the party to focus on building the organization instead of promoting the cult of a personality, as one former RSS General Secretary put it. The flurry of Tiranga Yatras and hyper-personalized rhetoric, such as Modi's own emotive claim that hot Sindoor flows in his veins during a speech hailing the strikes, has drawn some gentle ire from elders in the Sangh. They worry that the BJP's identity is becoming too Modi-centric, potentially undermining the broader movement's long-term vision. Senior journalists have observed that the RSS's public distancing, evident in its tepid backing of parts of the BJP's 2024 campaign and these recent admonishments, is a deliberate recalibration signaling the Sangh's intent to rein in excessive personality worship. In sum, the Sangh Parivar's response post-Sindoor is supportive of India's security assertion, but critical of any overzealous image building around Modi. This ideological pushback places subtle pressure on Modi and the BJP to return to a more collective, issue-focused narrative rather than one that appears to revolve around a single, charismatic individual. Let's move to the Hindi heartland, where Operation Sindoor has shaken things up. The operation provided us a timely platform to revive nationalist fervor in the Hindi heartland, but underlying political trends show our dominance in the region is no longer unassailable. In Bihar, a state central to this analysis, the immediate effect of the operation was a boost to the BJP-led narrative. Public celebrations of the airstrikes and prayers for the forces created a tailwind for the ruling National Democratic Alliance, NDA, in the state. Prime Minister Modi repeatedly invoked Operation Sindoor at rallies in Bihar, projecting the BJP as the guardian of national security and benefiting from a surge of patriotic sentiment among voters. This helped solidify the NDA's position in the run-up to the Bihar Assembly elections scheduled for late 2025. Indeed, Bihar is set to be the first major electoral test of the post-Sindoor political climate. The NDA coalition in Bihar, led by Chief Minister Nitish Kumar's Janata Dal United, alongside the BJP, has so far ridden the nationalist wave to put the opposition on the defensive. However, beneath these short-term gains lie signs of shifting power equations that could lead to political shakeups after the election. Looking at the 2024 general election results, our supremacy across the broader Hindi belt was dented despite our overall victory. The BJP's seat tally in the Lok Sabha plummeted from 303 in 2019 to just 240 in 2024, a stunning setback by our own standards. Crucially, this seat loss was concentrated in the Hindi-speaking states that had handed us landslides in the previous two elections. In Uttar Pradesh, our biggest stronghold, we suffered major losses. Our haul dropped from 62 seats in 2019 to roughly the mid-30s in 2024, effectively halving our representation from India's largest state. A united opposition, the SP and Congress under the India Alliance, managed to win 43 of UP's 80 seats, outperforming our NDA's 36 seats. This dramatic erosion of support in what was once considered an impregnable BJP bastion rang alarm bells. Similarly, in Bihar, we couldn't repeat our 2019 sweep. The NDA secured 30 out of 40 Lok Sabha seats, a clear victory but 9 seats fewer than in 2019. Even though the BJP and JDU combined triumphed, each winning 12 seats, with 5 more won by an allied LJP faction, the losses in key constituencies like Patliputra, Buxar, Aurangabad, and others indicated vulnerabilities. In Rajasthan and Haryana too, our vote share and seat counts fell significantly, contributing to our inability to secure a single-party majority in parliament. These shifts imply that our dominance in the Hindi belt has been challenged by a resurgent opposition and by regional factors. Caste dynamics, anti-incumbency sentiments, and opposition alliances have chipped away at our earlier gains. For instance, the recent revival of a caste census debate, with the central government unexpectedly agreeing in 2025 to include caste enumeration in the national census, has added a complex layer to Bihar's politics. Our ability to balance nationalist messaging with caste-based social justice narratives will be tested in the Bihar Assembly polls. As of now, the momentum from Operation Sindoor has given the BJP NDA an emotive plank to rally voters in Bihar. But observers caution that this election's outcome could trigger political shakeups. If the NDA scores a convincing win, it may embolden us to assert ourselves more strongly within the alliance, potentially eyeing the chief minister's post in the future and reinforce Modi's standing. On the other hand, if the Mahagathbandhan, the RJD Congress alliance, manages an upset, it would not only upset our Hindi belt strategy, but could also galvanize the national opposition, forcing us to rethink our approach. Even a narrower NDA victory with significant seat losses for JDU or BJP could alter the balance of power between coalition partners, possibly prompting leadership changes or new alliances in Bihar. In short, our once dominant position in the Hindi heartland is under flux, bolstered in the short run by nationalist sentiment, but facing headwinds from recent electoral trends. The Bihar elections of 2025 will be a bellwether. Their result may very well decide if the post-Sindoor nationalist narrative cements our dominance, or if it presages a period of coalition realignments and strategy course corrections in Hindi belt politics. Now, let's talk about internal dissent and questions over Modi's post-Sindoor approach. Publicly, we've maintained a united front, celebrating the success of Operation Sindoor and extolling PM Modi's decisive leadership. Privately, however, there are rumblings of concern within our ranks about aspects of Modi's approach in the post-Sindoor period. One point of contention is the perception of over-personalization, the heavy projection of Modi as the singular hero of every achievement. Many BJP leaders enthusiastically credit Modi for the operation's success, but one minister's exuberant remarks in Madhya Pradesh sparked controversy even internally. Jagdish Devda, MP's deputy chief minister, declared that the nation's army and its soldiers are bowing down at Modi's feet in gratitude for Operation Sindoor. This excessive attribution of credit to Modi was seized upon by the opposition as an insult to the army's valor, forcing us on the defensive. While Devda's statement was an extreme case, it underscored a broader issue, an impression that we're elevating Modi's image above even institutional pride. Some within the BJP quietly acknowledge the risk of this strategy backfiring. The RSS's public disapproval of personality cults has likely emboldened a section of our leaders who believe we must refocus on collective achievements and the governance record, rather than solely on Modi's persona. Another area of internal concern is the handling of the ceasefire that concluded Operation Sindoor. The military strikes were halted after a brief campaign, reportedly following diplomatic intervention by the United States. While Modi portrayed the outcome as a victory with a strong message sent to Pakistan, parts of our core base expressed disappointment that we didn't finish off the fight more conclusively. According to party insiders, a segment of our supporters felt the campaign ended prematurely, depriving us of a more comprehensive triumph over the enemy. Sensing this sentiment, our high command scrambled to assuage our cadre and voters. Within days of the ceasefire, we launched a coordinated outreach program to highlight the military success of Operation Sindoor and frame the ceasefire as a prudent decision that avoided a larger war. This suggests that the leadership is aware of and responding to internal murmurs that Modi's government may have settled for half measures under foreign pressure. Hardline voices in the party, though not aired openly, likely wanted the strikes to continue longer. They have had to be placated with messaging that we achieved our objectives in 25 minutes of precise strikes, and that any pause was strategic, not soft. Finally, the post-Sindoor period coincides with an inflection point in our own organizational leadership, which has stirred internal debate. Our national president, J.P. Nadda, saw his term extended through the general election, but with his term expiring in January 2025, a leadership change is on the horizon. The hunt for the next BJP president is underway, and significantly, the RSS is expected to have a final say in the appointment. Names like Anurag Thakur, a young BJP MP and former minister, have been floated as strong contenders to take the helm, reflecting a view that we might benefit from fresh energy and a reset in strategy after the relative setbacks of 2024. Behind closed doors, some of our leaders are asking whether Modi's top-down, highly centralized style should be recalibrated to empower other voices and regional leaders in the party. There is recognition that going into the next general election cycle, we'll need to address economic and governance issues more substantively, not just rely on nationalist fervor or Modi's charisma. These discussions remain largely internal. No senior BJP figure has directly challenged Modi's approach in public. But the indications are there. The combination of RSS pressure, the lessons from recent elections, and the natural churn of leadership is forcing us to engage in some introspection post-Sindoor. As one analyst noted, we retain our dominant position in Indian politics despite setbacks, but to maintain this, we may have to adapt our methods and share the spotlight more than we did in the first decade of Modi's reign. In conclusion, Operation Sindoor has proven to be a double-edged sword for us and Prime Minister Modi. In the immediate term, it furnished Modi with a compelling narrative of strength and retribution that energized our base and put the opposition on the back foot. It reinforced the image of Modi as a strong leader who takes bold action to protect the nation. This has helped us rally support across several states, evident in the nationalist fervor seen in Bihar and elsewhere. However, the aftermath has also exposed underlying fractures and concerns. Allies like the BJD and TDP have outwardly backed the government's actions, yet their long-term support for us remains conditional and driven by their own regional calculations. The Sangh Parivar's guardians are signaling that the nation as Modi approach has its limits, implicitly warning us to avoid succumbing to a one-man cult at the expense of our core ideology. The electoral shifts in the Hindi heartland show that national security successes alone cannot guarantee dominance if socio-economic grievances and regional alliances tilt the balance. And within the BJP, a subtle but important debate is brewing on how to adjust course. Balancing Modi's towering stature with the collegial, organization-centric ethos that the RSS and many party veterans prefer. As Bihar's high-stakes election approaches, these threads converge. A strong NDA performance buoyed by the Operation Sindoor afterglow might reinforce Modi's political capital, but could also sharpen our appetite to dominate our alliances. A setback in Bihar, conversely, could act as a wake-up call that even military triumphs and muscular nationalism have their electoral limits. In either scenario, political shakeups are conceivable after the Bihar polls, be it in the form of coalition realignments, policy course corrections, or party leadership changes as we adapt to changing realities. The coming months will reveal whether Operation Sindoor's legacy for us is one of renewed strength or the catalyst for a strategic rethink? In the words of one commentator, despite this spring's electoral setback, we retain a dominant position, but sustaining it will demand agility and perhaps a humbler brand of politics from Modi's team. The true political consequences of Operation Sindoor will be measured not just in immediate poll bumps, but in how it reshapes our approach to leadership, coalition building, and the fine balance between personal charisma and collective vision in the world's largest democracy.